first time that you have watched one of my podcasts, then you're very welcome. If you watched episode 1 and you've come back for a second episode, you're also very welcome. And I just want to thank anybody who made encouraging comments on my first attempt at a podcast. I'm Helen and I live in Durham in the northeast of England. It's a very nice place to be. And my podcast is just going to be about the things that I like making. Crochet, knitting and other things as well. And in my first episode, I was telling you that at the start of the lockdown, I decided to make a concerted effort to finish off some of the many unfinished projects that I found lurking in the different corners of my craft room. And I showed you one or two of them last time, and plus some other things that I've been making which were not unfinished projects. And so I thought I'd show you one or two more today. Ones that actually have been hanging around for the longest time. And the first thing I'm going to show you is an item of clothing. And I hardly ever make things that I wear other than small things like hats and gloves and socks. But I decided that I really liked this pattern which I saw in a knitting magazine, Let's Knit. So this short-sleeved cardigan here, which is called Dolce Vita. Can't remember the name of the designer, but I will put that in the notes underneath this video. And so here it is, my short sleeve cardigan. I did it in exactly the same colour and yarn that was in the pattern. It isn't the neatest ever. I had a bit of trouble picking up the stitches for the borders, and when I did the front button things, I forgot to put a hole in for the button, so I solved it by just doing a little hook like that, and just decided to have one button at the top. But it's really nice, cosy, and I know it's something that I'm going to be happy to slip on if I'm feeling a bit chilly when the weather gets colder. Okay. So next thing that had been lying around for something I started about 3 years ago was a blanket using leftover sock yarn. It's a pattern that I found on Ravelry, which I think was free, and well, because I make lots of socks, I had a lot of leftover sock yarn and liked the idea of knitting a blanket. So here is, you can't really see it fully, but you get the general idea there. So it's knitted on the diagonal, as you can see, and I started in one corner. I think I started in this corner here, and just increased until it was the width that I wanted, and then when it was the width that I wanted, I just kept it the same width for ages until it was the length that I wanted it to be, and then started decreasing to finish it off. And then I decided to crochet a border because I didn't fancy picking up all these stitches, and so I've just chose a little border there to finish it off. I'm very, very pleased with this blanket. It really it just has a really nice drape to it, just all in garter stitch there, and it just drapes really nicely. I really love it. It's really cozy. Okay, and another unfinished project that I found when I was searching around, I found a whole bag full of panels of 9 crochet squares. So I'd made, again, this was another leftover yarn blanket using Stylecraft Special DK leftovers from other blankets that I'd made, and I just decided to knit all kind of random colours and put them together. But I put them together in squares in a panel of 9 squares, so that I just had 2 colours in each panel of 9. But I found just a big pile of these 9 squares waiting to be put together. So I got around to doing that. I laid it out. There was no particular pattern to it. I tried not to have colours that were exactly the same right next door to each other, but apart from that, there was no attempt to make any kind of regular pattern. And then I just finished it off with a border that I like, and I really love doing borders. So yeah, so that's this another nice blanket. It's not obviously you can't really see the size of it on here on this camera, but it's not long enough to. It's not a single bed blanket. It's actually a square, and it's about the width of a single bed. But yes, but very, very nice and very useful, and add to my collection of blankets that I already have. So on today's episode, I am going to intersperse my chatter with just some little video clips from taken in my garden. Particularly happy watching the bees buzzing about on the lavender at the moment, so you'll see lavender and bees and just a few other scenes of my garden. Another couple of projects that I've just finished. Well, the first one is one that I showed in episode 1, which was a pair of socks, and here they are, finished, knitted in a Noro silk garden, sock garden, I think. And yeah, I'm just really pleased with those. I did not try to get them to match, and yet they look fairly matching, especially around here and the heel, but I didn't try and get them. It's pure coincidence. Anyway, so I'm never too troubled about trying to get them to be absolutely identical, so it's not really a problem. But anyway, I'm very pleased with those. They will be going to some lucky person. I don't know who yet. And another thing that I've just finished, well, I'm not sure if you could say finished exactly, because it's sort of an ongoing thing that I just do every now and then, is just to make some cotton cloths. So we have these ones, and just some more colours, all the same design, and from, can't remember who designed them, but it was a pattern I found on Ravelry, and I will put it below the video in case you want to go and find this pattern. But the yarn that I used is 100% cotton, sugar and cream. I've got 3 different colours there. So that nice speckly, purpley, pinky one, and this one, cannot remember their names, and this one here. So all nice colours, and I'm very happy with those, and they will be going to various people for gifts at some point or other. Okay. busy working on at the moment. One of the things I'm working on hasn't made much progress since I recorded episode 1, and it's a blanket, an Attic 24 blanket, the moorland blanket in these beautiful colours that make you think about the North York moors, which is going to be a present for somebody for Christmas, so I've got plenty of time yet. And I think I didn't say last time that it's knitted in Stylecraft Special DK. I was having a little bit of problem keeping on losing count with the pattern. It's a lovely, lovely interlocking pattern there, which I hadn't tried before. And so just to keep me on track, I decided that I'd better put stitch markers every 30 stitches. So it just means that when I get to the stitch marker, I know whether I've miscounted or not. And that's a really helpful, I can have that as a helpful tip if you haven't thought about doing that. But that really stopped me going wrong and having to take out whole rows at a time because I didn't know where I'd gone wrong. And the other project that I'm doing at the moment, I think I've only got 2 on the go. Oh, that's a bit strange. I can't actually show you because I'm pretty certain that the person who it's for may well watch this and it's going to be a surprise for them for Christmas. But I will tell you that the pattern is from this John Arbon Textiles annual, the first issue, and it is using some beautiful Devonia 4-ply yarn, and it's going to be gorgeous when it's finished. And I know I have a friend who's just made one and posted a picture of it on Instagram, and it looks so nice. But I'm not going to show you that yet, just in case it spoils the surprise for somebody. So there we are. And then I have, making that project meant that I had to get out my new wool winder that I got for my last birthday, which I hadn't used until now. And so that's very exciting, not to have to find somebody to hold the yarn on their hands while I spend ages winding it, or struggling with it on the back of a chair, which is what I've tried to do before as well. So this is fantastic, just to have the skein around the thing. There's a video clip which I'm going to put in to show you. And I think what's on my next birthday or Christmas list is actually to get a ball winder, and then I don't even need to stand there. Although I quite like standing there winding the wool. It's quite nice winding the wool. So yeah, so that's it. I'm waiting for some yarn to arrive to start another project, which is I think it's in the issue 2 John Arbon annual. It's some socks, and that's going to be a present for another member of my family, so I probably won't be able to show you that one next time either. I think I'll have to record little clips of me showing you things and then not show them until after Christmas. Okay, so I hope you've enjoyed being with me today and seeing some of the things I've been making. If you would like to comment on my video, if you're watching this on my website but you want to comment on it, then there's a link which takes you to YouTube, and then you can write comments underneath and you can like it and possibly even subscribe. I don't know, I'm very new to all of this. But anyway, otherwise you can find me on Instagram at mousiemakes pod, and that's where I am telling you when there's another episode available to watch. So I think that's all for today. So I'm just going to say goodbye.